Hello and welcome to your reading today. This reading is for the water signs, and this is indicative of the energies that we are now finding ourselves in with the full and very supermoon in Capricorn this month, for the supermoon in Capricorn in 2022. Okay, so today I am going to go ahead and do a reading for the different elements. I do advise that you look at all of them if you'd like, because we do embody different elements in our birth chart. And even if we don't, we sometimes embody those energies, okay? So even if you don't have it again in your chart, it does not mean that you do not embody those energies. So you feel free to look at all of them to see what resonates best with you, okay? So I already pre-shuffled and selected the cards just to make it a little bit easier, because my videos tend to run a little bit long, okay? So we're going to go ahead and begin here with the energies in which we may be finding ourselves right now, and how this moon energy will help, okay? So it looks like if there was indecision, that will be subsiding here pretty soon with this energy. And the energy can last up to 6 months, but usually it's, prominent for the first couple of weeks extra. Things will be, releasing, and things will be changing and perspiring as need be with the time, okay? And depending on your situation. So we have indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. Okay, so if you're finding yourselves in indecision, remember that indecision is going to keep us in stagnicity. Why? Because not deciding is not moving. So, and even in not deciding, indecision is a decision in its own if you're not making a decision. That's a lot of decision. All right. So we have also here these aspects of why it is that maybe we're indecisive, okay? Because I know that air signs tend to really be in their head a lot, thinking a lot and overthinking, and just like making decisions based on their logic and thinking it over and over. So here we have number 25, emotional energy. Emotions are messengers to be met with appropriate attention, action, and gratitude. Again, emotions are messengers to be met with appropriate attention, action, and gratitude. Okay, so I'm going to put this here for a minute. So in other words, emotions are not to be just overlooked, right? You feel emotions basically are like the security system or the sensitivity system of the body, right? Because if your emotions are going to tell you, like, okay, if something makes you mad, it's going to tell your body, it's basically telling you that you don't like something, or something made you uncomfortable, or something overstepped your boundaries. You felt like you were being violated and it made you mad, right? If you're feeling sad, then that's how your body tells you. It's kind of like it's almost like when you touch a stove that's hot, then it hurts, right? So that's not so much, I wouldn't say that's so much of an emotion, that's more like of a physical symptom, but this is similar, right? So it's kind of like telling our body what's going on, so we could adjust the situation. Like if you're at work and there's a problem, you're going to go ahead and take care of that problem. Why is it that we have a hard time with our own selves? And what's the taboo with emotions? Why is that such a bad thing? Somewhere along the line, somebody said, "Ooh, emotions are scary. Emotions are nasty. Ew, you have emotions? Yuck, you have cooties." Well, no, I have emotions because it's common sense that I'm going to go ahead and do something about it. Why? I'm going to either address it so that I don't have a lump in my throat, and so I don't feel like I'm just bottling up my emotions. And I'm also going to address it so I can move on and be comfortable. Because what ends up happening is if you are just suppressing these emotions and you're not, you're not listening to the messages they're giving you, then you're not giving them the appropriate attention. You're not taking action and thankful for those messages, right? If you're not thankful for those messages, then, you're basically just going to be suppressing them, pushing them down. And one day you're going to just explode like a volatile volcano at anybody. And that it has nothing to do with your situation, or either that, or you're just going to bust out crying, or bust out snap like those ladies that kill their husbands in that show or something, so it's important that we really harness that part of us, and that we give it it's gratitude. We have to be grateful for every part of us, and every part of everything that we are is what makes us who we are, right? So on it, we need to be doing that and honoring our emotions, okay? And that's what makes us indecisive, because your emotions are telling you, but if you're not comfortable with them, you tend to just push them to the side. But if you were listening to your emotions, okay, I need to make a decision. Do I want to stay in this job or do I want to leave? Okay, well, every day that I go to this work, I feel upset. It makes me feel, uneasy. I feel like I don't want to be here. Okay, so if we were listening to the emotions, what would we know? Okay, off the bat, we're not comfortable here. Something is off. We don't feel like we need to be here anymore. Okay, so it makes us uncomfortable. So what happens if you're not paying attribute or any attention to those energies? Then what ends up happening is you're just like, okay, I'm uncomfortable. This is not fun. You push it to the side and then you start being a robot and being in robot mode. Why? Because your body is going to react in a way that's going to keep you safe. And what does it do? It does things without subconsciously, without you even asking you. It just does things. So it starts making you act different. You no longer have a personality. You're, just bland and boring and you're not yourself. Why? Because you suppress your emotions. Emotions make you who you are. Okay? Whew. All right. So that's why you're indecision. So suppressing emotions or just not listening to them or giving them the attention they require, not only does it keep you in a very, very uninteresting and very uncomfortable situation that you have to put yourself on auto or pilot or just zombie mode, which is not fun. You're not living your life like that. Thank you for shopping. It keeps you in indecision. So you miss out on opportunities and you're just basically going day by day without even thinking about it or without living your life. Come on now. Okay. We also have here number 14, wishful expectations. Acknowledge the smoke and the mirrors in your life for what they are. Okay, wishful expectations. And it's funny because, and I could say this because I have a lot of air placements in my chart. Okay, and it's easy for us to really just shut down and cut out the emotions part because it's like, okay, it's getting in my way. Move out of the way. I don't want to think about you. Bye, Felicia. But no, we're not honoring ourselves that way. But anyways, wishful expectations. So many times we make a decision on something or we're doing something that, and it's an inconvenience to have to come back and look at it or to do something about it. So then we just kind of we pretend like, oh, no, it's all good. Or, smoke in the mirrors. Like we see things with rose-colored glasses because we don't want to deal with the situation at the moment because first of all, we don't want emotions. We're uncomfortable with emotions. It's like, it'll get away from me. I'm thinking with my logic. Okay, thank you. Get out of here with your emotions. But what happens is you end up fooling yourself. Okay, you end up fooling yourself because you're seeing things not for what they are. Okay, you start kind of making these things up, being delusional because your body, again, your mind will do whatever it takes. Your ego will do whatever it takes to keep you safe, which means also making you believe certain things or, that's how when people get. That's okay. So when something happens, like something traumatic, or you're going through too much, then your mind will start developing these things like split personalities, or to kind of make it to where it's survivable. Like even Stockholm syndrome, when somebody's kidnapped. Okay, in order to adapt and to be able to live and survive, they end up forming their mind tells them like, oh yes, this person loves you, you're fine here, yay, it's fantastic, because otherwise a person would go crazy or it would just also snap. It's like your mind is fucking amazing. It does these things. Your body does. Everything does. And it's important that not only are we harboring what is, things that bring us money or what is that is easy and physical and distracting, but also the things that are inside of us, because those are the most important. Because everything is inside of us. So if you're able to pay attention to your emotions and actually see things for what they are, even if it is an inconvenience at the moment, it's important that we do that, because in getting to know yourself and who you are, how you feel, what your feelings mean, then you're able to navigate through life a lot better. Okay, it's like you cannot. It's like taking one of your senses away. You're not functioning at optimal level. You're not being genuine. You're not walking in your truth. And walking in your truth and being genuine is what keeps your spirit and your soul alive and happy, making you feel good. So those people that you see that are very happy and so bubbly and they're just like, woo, and when they're sad, they're sad. When they're mad, and you're just like, oh my God, that person's so extra. Those people are happy. Why? Because they're balanced. They're balancing their shadow. They're balancing their light and dark aspect, because they are acknowledging their truth. They're acknowledging their emotions and their feelings, and they are speaking them. They are not just keeping things inside. Keeping things inside is a recipe for disaster. So that is what is happening right now, where the universe is wanting to really cleanse everybody and purge all the crap out so that we could be better human beings and stop bullshitting around and hurting each other, okay? All right, there we go. Super, fantastic. So let's continue. Let's see. Okay, So we also have here these cards. This one says relationships. I'll put it here so we could see it here. It says relationships. I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. So maybe you are have been experiencing relationships with people that are not serving your higher good. And maybe you're looking at them through a smoky mirror, or because you don't want to acknowledge the fact that you've put time and effort into it, and it's uncomfortable to face the emotions. So you're just kind of like going with it and pretending in a delusional state that everything's fantastic. It could be at work, it could be in any way, or it could be about yourself, okay? Telling yourself that you're fine, telling yourself you're fine when you're really not. Balance. Balance. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. Balance. I bring a state of perfect harmony. Okay, and in a way, this is kind of like, I see this as somebody saying it with a blank kind of silly, look on their face. Like, we all know that is not true. Okay, there is not a balance at the moment. There is not a balance. That is why we're getting these cards over here. So that's telling us, and it's an indicator that there is need for balance. Okay, that you bring a perfect state and harmony to the world. And how do you do that? By focusing and acknowledging every aspect of yourself, so you could be balanced. Okay, that way you could attract balanced opportunities and balanced people into your life. If you find that you are in a situation in which things are kind of like, one-sided, or things are not where you want them to be, you need to take a step back and really look at your inner environment as well, not just your outer environment, but what's going on inside with you. Check in with yourself, okay, and make sure that you're honoring yourself, so that you're able to balance your every aspect out, and you're able to be in that little bit more of a harmony and a peace. Even in a state of peace of mind for yourself. Okay, and funny enough, I'm just going to bring this one out because it says peace here. This is one of the ones we got. And again, I did not pick these out. I did not pick these out and say, oh, this goes good together. No, I was just shuffling, and they came out as they came out, and I just put them to the side. So you'll find that there will be some synchronicities and things, how they match and kind of come together. And that's just spirit for you, confirming the messages and telling you, that's why I like to get different cards, and they all correlate, and they correlate together at the end of the day. So this resonates with you, which it should. I mean, I think if you were drawn to this message, then there's going to be something in here for you. I don't believe that things don't resonate. It could be maybe that you're just not in the moment, you're not willing to admit it at the moment, or you're not wanting to deal with it at the moment, or perhaps it's just not your time to see the message. But I believe that everything resonates. I mean, it should. That's why you were guided to see it. Anyways, so here we have peace. In stillness, the answer will always be revealed. And we have the crown chakra there. So again, that's true. If you're having any situation in which you are not sure about what way to go, or you just feel like there's too much and you're overwhelmed, just calming down, taking some deep breaths, and breathing in the good stuff. Breathe in the good, what is it? Breathe out the bullshit and breathe in the good shit. Something like that. Well, anyways, that will bring you peace. And what else brings you peace? Being able to speak your mind. Because if you're not speaking your truth, and then it all starts accumulating, and you have like this little chest of a bunch of crap that you don't say, you're always going to feel like you're constipated and look like you can't poop or something, like, oh, there's always something stuck or something. But the people that just speak their mind so freely, so liberated, so free-spirited, they're so happy, and they sleep a gusto. They're like walking around comfortable. They don't look like they have a stick in their butt or like they're constipated, because they're just, everything's free. It's free. That means that their digestive system, everything's flowing, their chi energy, they just have no blockages because they are just released. They have no problem with releasing because they understand that they understand who they are, they love who they are, they accept who they are, even with their flaws, and they know that it doesn't really matter what anybody has to say, because as long as you're true to yourself, okay? Because we're not here to live for other people, we're here to live for ourselves, to experience that, okay? And the reason that I talk this way is because I don't like to sugarcoat things, and I just really feel like the best way to get to the solution is to really just hit the problem head on. And I think it's exciting when you get to learn about yourself, and it's like a challenge to, kind of make yourself grow, let yourself grow. You owe it to yourself to allow yourself to grow. If you're successful in other aspects and you're wanting to meet other goals, why not be successful in wanting to master yourself and your emotions and in every way, so that you could move and proceed, and to the best possible timeline for your life, right? Because you can be very, very, very intelligent and have like all of these awesome attributes to yourself, but if you're unable to just really be completely free and feel liberated and just feel like you're living every day, then what good is everything you're trying for everything else? I mean, that should be your ultimate goal, is to be happy with and be able to just feel and leave this world knowing that you mastered yourself. You mastered that should be the goal, is to learn about yourself and master your emotions and live and make sure that you're living the life that you want, that you're designing, that you're manifesting, not everybody else. Or it's not by default because you decided you didn't want to make a decision. So now it's something that just happened because that so happened to be the consequences of whatever action or inaction, right? Okay, I'm getting a little bit into it, but it's just it's important. We're not getting any younger, and actually right now the astrological situations that we find ourselves in are actually very, very positive and very it's almost like we're getting a push and a shove. Like, you didn't do the work, we're going to do it for you. So things are popping up. You'll see that a lot of things you're like, damn, can I get a break? What's going on here? Because it's boiling up like a dirty pimple from your face, ready, wanting to pop, because it's like, no, this is enough. You've been not dealing with this shit. So we're going to pull it up. Or you're going to be like a 14-year-old girl in prom night with, she's like, oh my God, I need this, my zits. Yes, because you have not been washing your face and going to sleep with your damn makeup on. So what do you expect? Of course, eventually you're going to get pimples, right? So eventually all of this crap that we've been trying to put away and think that nobody's going to find out, or not anybody's going to find out, but that we don't have to deal with it. We just keep on putting it, push it down. It's going to come up. It's going to be like, I want to breathe though. I want to breathe. Hey, remember me? Remember me? I'm a part of you. So, it's like the step sister that's embarrassing to the family that they try to leave behind everywhere. And then she ends up showing up. Hey, you guys, you forgot me. And they're like, oh, great. Well, yeah, they wanted to forget you. But no, she had like a GPS, and she's like, no, thank you. Shoot, you're not going to forget me. I'm going to go ahead and look for you until you deal with me, because, I need to be dealt with. All right. And fearlessness. Yes. Turn your warrior into a warrior. The solar plexus chakra has everything to do with your self-esteem, your confidence. So fearlessness, yes. Okay, don't fool yourself. If you are not wanting to face things, especially when it comes to emotions, people say, oh, emotions are for weenies. No, they're not, honey. Emotions are for people that are very strong, people that actually are able to deal with their emotions and share and are very real with them, are very strong. Why? Because they don't care. They are dealing with their emotions and they don't care what it makes them look like. If they have to cry, they're going to cry. If they're mad, they're going to be mad. If they want to tell you something, they're going to tell you something. Why? Because they have the bravery and the courage to do so. Somebody that's not wanting to deal with those things because of how they're going to appear is not strength. That is a weakness. Okay, it's time that we start really like bringing awareness to that and letting people know that sensitivity is the new superpower. Okay. All right. So fearlessness, because that's what it is. It's fear of one's feelings, of one's emotions, and of one's, how people are gonna look at us or look at you. So this all goes hand in hand with relationships. How could you have a real relationship and a sincere relationship if there's indecision, if there's no the emotional energy is not being taken care of, and you're looking at people through rose-colored glasses? I mean, come on now. Everything's going to be a facade. You're going to wake up one day with a rude awakening. And let me just say, okay, and I think that's something that happened to a lot of us this year and throughout the last couple of years, okay? It's like, yay, we've been living in La La Land, and all of a sudden it's like, who turned the lights on? Like at a bar, when you go to the bar and, you see somebody, you're like, ooh, that person's cute. And then you're like, woohoo, hey. And then they turn the lights on, you're like, holy moly, just kidding. What was I thinking? Okay, or your friend that has beer glasses on, and they're like, oh, I think so-and-so's cute. Yeah, and you're like, no, you don't. Please, no, you don't. And then they wake up the next day and they're like, oh my God, why'd you let me talk to so-and-so? Well, yeah, exactly. That's a smoke mirrors, and that's the rose-colored glasses for you. You're going to wake up, turn the light on, and be like, oh my God. Yeah, so let's not, oh my God, anymore, and let's just start taking care of this stuff. Okay, so there's more to come. Okay, so let's see here. Let me just put this here in a good order. Okay, empathy. Empathy is one, I believe it's showing up for you because as an air sign, we tend to be, or you can tend to be a little bit cutting, a little bit you tend to speak the truth, yes, but it's a truth for other people. It's a truth everybody has to tell me the truth. Everybody has to come at me correct. And I can spot when you're telling me the truth. But are you spotting yourself when you're telling the truth? Are you being correct with yourself? Are you yourself being honest with yourself? Are you catching that? So that just says here, empathy. I'm open to seeing both sides of the situation. Yes. So it's because air signs tend to be more of mind over heart people, it's hard sometimes to really show that empathy, okay? And to be empathetic to certain things, because it could be, they could tend to be a little bit like, well, no, this person lied or did this and I don't agree, so no. It's going to be a no on that one. I'm going to move on with that one. And maybe it's calling for you to have a little bit more empathy, and not just so much for others, but for yourself as well. Empathy for yourself, because if something takes place and you don't agree with it or you feel bad about it, you could very well put it in a Tupperware, put it far down in the kitchen, in the refrigerator. You forget about it. Then you're cleaning the fridge out one day and you're like, something stinks really bad, okay? And then it's that damn Tupperware that you put away because you don't want to deal with it, because you know that you're not happy with yourself or what happened or how you reacted to a situation or what you did. So then it's saying like, okay, you don't have to put yourself in a Tupperware and rot in the back of the fridge. Just, let's not do that, because then it's even worse, because now you're going to draw more attention to yourself, not only because you did something silly, but now you stink really bad, okay? So no, let's not do that. Let's go ahead and deal with the situation at hand and know that it's okay. You're human and things happen. Have empathy for yourself. Be willing to look at something in a different way. Have a different perspective, and that way, that's how we grow. That's how you grow. Okay. And again, this doesn't mean that not everybody's going to be exactly just like that and rigid as far as their thinking. However, we all have different astrological components that make up who we are. But I think that a lot of us could resonate with this in a lot of ways, in different aspects of our life, if anything. But overall, I think it's what it's trying to say is like, it's okay to, if we want to bring balance, especially like if you're a Libra, that balance is important to you. Not only that, but even for Libras, the relationships is their house. That's the house that they master there. Okay. So it's ironically enough, a lot of the times that's something that we have a problem with every astrological zodiac sign. Sometimes you'll find that whatever the shadow aspect is, or whatever the weakness is, it could be very well the greatest component that is what is causing the strain in your life, and you don't realize it. Okay, so this is bringing awareness to that, and just really like taking off those rose-colored glasses so that you can see things for what they are. Okay, here we have progressions, number 56, and progressions with journey, and we have conjunction, alliance. Okay, so I'm going to actually look into the guidebook for those and just kind of, so I could give you the best, the best information on that message. Okay, give me one momento. Okay, so we have 56 progression. So let's see what they're trying to tell you here. I mean, obviously, también, it's like you're embarking on this journey, right? And progressions include, there's time is passing us by here. And there's areas here where there's the different lenses. It's looking at things through a different lens and ensuring that we're looking through the appropriate lens in which we're seeing things clearly also, okay? Is what I'm seeing there too. But let me see progressions, progressing to that aspect to where we can progress from one lens to another, to where our vision is crystal clear, okay? 56. Let me see. And again, I am an intuitive reader, so I don't always go with what the traditional stuff is. I go with intuitively, and I receive these downloads when I'm talking, so that I'm channeling. So that is why I tend to talk fast and I get excited, okay? Okay, so this one's progressions journey. It says here, the action. Progressions do not speak of a passing thing, but to the big sweeping arcs of the karmatic fate, to your soul's journey. Your present situation may not make sense in the short term because it has more to do with the big karmatic patterns and how those intersect with the karmatic patterns in the world's progress, and less to do with your daily existence. Stand back and look at your life's journey. Think of the years you engaged in the world, and these years you need time for more personal work. Consider making a timeline or a painting or a landscape to see where you are in those big sweep patterns. This situation may feel fated, but outcome is predestined. Though you may feel uncomfortable, you always have a choice about how to respond or where to go. Okay? It says here, to help guide you in the moment, consider where you would like to be at the end of your life as far as distant point, and look back. Let this future become your lighthouse to guide you. Even though you may have to go around the rocks and work through the tides. Let your lighthouse guide you. The challenge. This is not a small obstacle or opportunity. This is a part of a complex pattern, and every choice you make changes how it unfolds. Gift. Trust the tides and set your own sails. Okay? So again, I really do feel like this has a lot to do with what we're talking about too, because how could you go through the journey, or how could you reach your destination if you're not seeing things for what they are, or if you're not honoring how you're feeling? Because when you're taking a trip and you get a gut feeling about a certain route or a certain something, you need to pay attention to that, and your intuition and your gut feeling, and how you're feeling about certain things, because that's your body's like I said, it's like a security system. That's what's going to keep you safe also. You can't just always think with your head. You have to also use the rest of your body and your senses, right, to progress. So in the journey of life and growth. So next we have 51. And the karmatic stuff, this is really all, like, this is what's happening right now. We're leveling out in our karma, or we're leveling up in our karmatic cycles. Okay, some cycles just closed, recently here for us. If you if you're needing to reap, like, or balance out the scales as it pertains to like some things that have taken place, there's an accumulation of things or whatnot, then this is the time that it's happening right now. Okay, so this is a big deal right now. Okay, conjunction alliance. So this one is talking about the co-conspire and find people as allies to support your ideas. This is not a situation in which you go it alone. Bring in someone with extra skill to offer your project, to find best friend or discuss your concerns with, or spark off new partnership. Watch the energy build as you bounce off ideas with that person. The challenge. Be wary of relationships that ask you to shrink yourself to fit them, and value conjunction over individual growth. So gift. The conjunction can become a greater than the sum of the parts. Okay, so this is talking about, funny enough, we have that relationships card, because relationships don't have to be, love relationships. They could also be relationships as it pertains to work, or, partnerships, or friendships, family ships, situationships, chips and dip, whatever. So again, the partnership thing. It's talking about the conjunction is conjuncting, coming together, conjunct. So it's talking about, it's important to be able to conjunct with other people to kind of collaborate, and to you're being asked to cooperate. Okay, and so this is there's no better time for this message than now, because if you are coming together in a job opportunity, or for anything else that's maybe coming your way, and you're having to form some kind of relationship there, the best relationship is going to be an honest and open relationship regardless, right? So, or else everything ends up being kind of superficial and just false, and there's masks being worn, and that never ends well. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so we have clearing energy. And this one says, during crisis, the Holy One herself may be emptying you of fear and attachments, preparing you to receive her luminous plan. Okay, so this is talking about energetic clearing. Could be if you're not cleansing energetically yourself, or if you're not, getting the hints that are being thrown at you about things that you need to clear out of your path or out of your way. It's some things may be falling behind, and it's being emptied for you, because of maybe inability to act or indecisiveness. Okay. Here we have humility. Allow me, divine, to always accept the right assistance. I welcome your help in every way and delight in receiving it. Okay, humility. Allow me, divine, to always accept the right assistance. I welcome your help in every way. Okay, so and that again is talking about, sometimes we don't see things that take place as help. Okay, one thing that I really like, one saying that I really like is the rejection is God's protection. And a lot of the times when we don't get what we want, or if we're manifesting, praying, or we really love somebody and they get taken away out of our way, and we're like, no, but no, what? I didn't pray for that. No, I love this person. What do you mean? No. And then it's like, okay, well, no, because we have been shoving you and throwing signs at you, and you are not listening to them. We have been, almost basically throw you in front of a car here so you could understand and listen. You're not listening. So now we have to come in and we have to kind of take away what you're not taking away, because you're not seeing that it's not for your highest good, right? It's not for your highest good, because you can't see the big picture like they can. They have a bird's eye view of the big picture. So as to where to you, something that you really want may seem like it's like, ideal. And that's what I want, though. I know that's what I want. Well, you can't see what that will, how that will transpire like in the future. So maybe right now it seems great, but then like you end up losing your job, or you end up doing something crazy because that's not what was meant for you. And down the line, and what happens is, if you are humble enough to say, okay, God, I'm going to surrender. I'm going to put this in your hands. And if you don't believe, whatever you believe in, the universe, whatever, I'm going to put this in your hands. And I know, and I trust that, you know what's in my heart of hearts and what it is that my desires are. So then it may seem like, there was a missed opportunity and you may be upset about it. But then down a couple of weeks down the line, you might find that you have a bigger and better blessing that comes your way that was actually a better opportunity for you, because you did not see that far ahead. You see, you did not, especially if you have the smoky glasses and you're operating on the wrong lenses. Okay, you're not seeing clearly. You're not able to see. So it's like everything always happens for our greatest and highest good and for the evolution of our spirit. Okay. Anywho, all right. So here we also have Jupiter, because when I picked these cards, I asked like, okay, so what are the astrological components or what's the word? Characteristics, that we should be embodying at the moment, right? To kind of help us get over these humps and kind of come together and reach our highest good with what is co-conspiring with our plan or our path. And we have Jupiter. Okay, Jupiter is the planet of expansion. Jupiter is actually rules Sagittarius and the fire as well, but it is a planet of expansion. Have you heard of Jupiter's return? Jupiter is actually known to be very gracious and offer many blessings upon us, and it is expansion. Okay, so we're wanting to expand. Not only do you want to expand in a bountiful way when it comes up to abundance, but also in every way as growth for yourself, expanding yourself. And just kind of having a little bit of that magical kind of like wish upon a star type of deal. Okay. And Jupiter is all about that. Jupiter is about, kind of wanting to shower the blessings and expand and higher learning and all of that good stuff. Okay. And 1 and 8 is 9. So that could be significant for you if you're into the numerology. Okay. We also have Earth. Okay, and Earth is all about nurturing. Earth is all about what is growing, what is tangible here on this 3D plane. Okay, it has to do with financial stability, with responsibility, it's just if you think about it, the Earth is just so systematically works perfectly in harmony as it pertains to just the way that everything is made just to perfection for it to just work perfectly structured and everything is just, it's natural. It's just like a well-oiled machine. It's just nothing is stopping it. It's constantly going, right? And there's so much growth and abundance and everything that, you water it and it's just flourishes. So you're being asked to do the same, to really pour into yourself that abundance of love and care, okay? And nurture yourself at this moment so that you could grow, and feel more in tune with what is the earth, and kind of growing with it, being grounded, coming down from thinking so much, and being in your head so much. It's coming out and smelling the nature and going for walks and embodying that energy of natural progression and like the earth signs. It's very slow but steady. They're methodological also. I mean, they're methodical. I mean, they have their plan, they have their rhythm, they have their rhyme, but they know that they're taking their steps, as everybody else is, with the air signs are over here conspiring, like, oh my God, how can we do this? We're gonna strategize. We're gonna think about this really good, and we have to make sure that we execute this properly. And the earth signs are like, okay, I'm doing this. I'm putting in steady, surely but steady, slowly. Even though there's people that are racing and they're vroom, 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 zooming, and then they end up tiring out, burning out. But no, the earth signs. They're going slowly but steady. And then they pass the people that passed him before, and they're like, hey, what happened? Like, these people were way ahead of me, and they're not there to be competing with anybody. They're just doing their thing. They know that they're going to get there. They don't care if they get there first or last, but they are going to get there for sure. So it's more of about thinking, coming back and just pulling back, taking a step to and a moment to just enjoy and smell the flowers on the way. Okay, and smell the flowers on the way. Remember that you're alive, that you're human, that you're here on this beautiful planet, and give yourself some time to get grounded. Okay. Let's see. We also have here the engineer. Every problem has a solution, and the characteristics here are curious, productive, technical, hardworking, focused, creative, competent, practical, competitive, decisive, determined, analytical, adventurous, loyal, and generous. Okay, and that's Mars energy, the engineer. Okay, so it's like making things come together, making things work, finding a solution to the problem. So you're being asked to embody this energy, and you probably already do have this, but add a little bit more of the creative component to it. Okay, add a little bit more of like a component of thinking outside the box, engineering ways, new paths for yourself. And here we do have also the teacher, and this is Jupiter. Funny enough that we got the Jupiter card over there. And this one says to know is to grow. So there's a lot of emphasis here on growing and knowing, yourself. Okay, knowledge and knowledgeable, intelligent, growth oriented, trustable, understanding, communicative, compassionate, prosperous, social, inspired, self-aware, generous, considerate, and virtuous. Okay, so the air signs are very intelligent and very very communicative, for sure. So what it's asking you here is to learn from Jupiter, have it be your teacher, so that you may teach yourself to kind of expand out of the narrow-mindedness of the moment, which is having the tunnel and not seeing the rest of you. Okay, and growing and expanding into more of a well-roundedness when it comes to your emotions. Okay, because that's an emphasis right now here, and also the other one about the smoky mirrors, and that we're all guilty of that. We really are, because it's so much easier to just be like, okay, no, that's not true. You're not that. You're this, because that's what you're going to be, because that's what I'm thinking you're going to be, and I don't have time, and I don't want to deal with it. I don't want drama. I don't want to hear it about you crying and all this. I don't want any of that. So that's just what it is. Okay, and you're being asked to kind of just step back and allow yourself to go through those things, because that's how you're going to grow. Okay. And it's funny because Capricorn is the energy is about, like, it's all about work. It's about getting your goals met and all of that stuff. And you're good at all of that. You're good at you're just really good at anything that has to do with thinking and strategizing. But ironically enough, it's like, yes, putting in the hard work and attributes of the Capricorn energy, but towards working hard in another way, which is expanding yourself in the sense of, as it pertains to every other aspect in which you haven't been paying attention to at the moment. Okay. And then we have the Queen, which is the Moon. And the Moon is all about intuition, and it's all about, feelings, and it's all about emotions, and it's all about knowing and unknowing, and the mysteries of the universe. And we have here, I am a powerful feminine leader. Okay, regal, courageous, prosperous, loyal, powerful, compassionate, intuitive, responsible, administrative, knowledgeable, and trustworthy. Okay, so step into this energy and lead yourself to be compassionate with yourself. Lead yourself to your intuition. Lead yourself to give yourself permission to use those gifts that you do have, very powerful, that you hide behind or that you put to the side because it's not logical for you to use. Sometimes it's important to incorporate the heart and the intuition, the other parts of your body that are great at measuring and sensing and reading things about yourself, as well as okay. So when they say I have a gut feeling or my heart hurts, that's not in your brain, okay? That's your body. So it's like there's a disconnect between your body and your brain, okay? For the most part, I believe that if you're like really strongly aspected air in your chart and you have a whole lot of air and not maybe not a lot of water or earth or even fire, which is passion, you might see fire and passion as like, okay, well, yeah, that's all fun and games, but like, it's not logical, that's not based on, you can't go based on your passion. It's like, it's not logical. And it's understanding. However, just keep in mind that when you feel, people say you broke my heart or my heart hurts, right? Or I have a gut feeling. It's not like I have a feeling in my head, in my mind, and my mind is, no, it's like a feeling that you have. Those feelings, all the other feelings that have to do with your emotions are involving your body. Okay, so there's a disconnect there, and it's important to connect it. And even though you are who you are, but why not grow and expand so that you can be understanding of yourself and everybody else? Because after all, you are human. Okay. All right. So we also have here, and these are soul lessons and self-care. Okay. So let me go ahead and bring these out for you. We have elevate and support, number 35. So it's like elevate yourself by supporting yourself and supporting others. Also asking for that support, from others in your journey to expand yourself. The gift of dance, 31 is a number, okay? The gift of dance, and that's the aura chakra, and that's a chakra that is located outside of you. But the gift of dance it raises your vibrations. Automatically, it's like it just changes your whole outlook and your actual mood. You could be in a super bad mood, and all of a sudden that's a song that's high vibrational comes on, and even if you don't want to dance and you're mad and you have like a sour face, all of a sudden you'll find yourself perking up and maybe like tapping your foot or shimmying a little bit, and then all of a sudden you just can't help it but you want to dance, like that song. Well, when I hear music, it makes me dance. I got the rhythm in my pants. Okay, I don't think it says it like that, but like that. Honestly, music is just like this thing. And sometimes we find ourselves in a rut where we're just so occupied with things that we're doing or just mind-generated things that we know in our deepest of knowing that if we take a minute to kind of engage in things that bring us joy, that we'll lift our spirits. But sometimes we're so stubborn that we're just like, no, I have to do this or whatever. I don't want to. I want to be sulking in my just little robotic state here. I find myself very, very guilty of that because I have a highly aspected air signs in my chart, and I find myself doing that. So I have to remind myself not to do that. So I understand everything that I'm saying here. Anytime that I am giving a message, first of all, this is a message that I'm channeling, for you, and it doesn't mean that I am fully expert at all of this stuff. No way, Jose. No, actually, all of these things that I'm saying are things that I need to do too. Okay, so let's just make a little disclaimer right there. Okay. Anyways, and here we have clarity, soul lesson, solar plexus. And clarity, this one talks about being clear, okay? Again, crystal clear in our vision and what is really happening. Who in relationships, who are we really dealing with? Are we looking at people for what they are? Are we looking at situations for what they are? Are we looking at ourselves for who we are? There's the eyes right there. Are you seeing things clearly? Are you being clear, okay? Not only just in communication, but also just in just the energy being felt and seen. And is it being seen for what it is, or are we fooling ourselves here? Okay, because at the end of the day, you're only hurting ourselves if we're not seeing things for what they are. Because when those lights turn on, let me tell you, they're gonna scare us. Okay, and here is some advice from the universe, or just some messages here. It says, happiness is my birthright. Happiness is my birthright, and that is true. And actually, it's a lot easier to be happy than we think. Okay, I really believe it's all about just being genuine and authentic with who you are. Walking your path and speaking your truth makes you happy, because you're always going to be doing what makes you happy, what you want to do, not what anybody else makes you do or makes you think you have to do. Here we have, I am connected to my joyful presence. I attract support from the universe. Ooh, how funny. Those look really, those are like really similar. And then we have, I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone for the first time with the eyes of love. Okay? Again, seeing people in a different way, in a different perspective, seeing things in a different perspective, and seeing ourselves that way too. Okay? And we're pretty much finished here. I was hoping this would go faster without me having to shuffle on camera, but of course, you know, me and my diarrhea of the mouth. I just pulled some cards also that I'm going to put here, and we'll kind of go over the cards a little bit here. Let's see. All right. Okay. Very well. And it's funny because every all of the different elements, I picked a different deck. Okay, and usually I don't know why I picked the deck, but then once a message comes out, it's very clear. So here we have the Five of Wands. This one talks about gossip, arguments, competition, a little bit of conflict. And fives indicate change, okay? So this could be here, all of this could be taking place with, there could be conflict and whatnot in around your atmosphere and your surroundings, or it could also be within yourself, with an inner conflict, inner competition with yourself, inner strife, okay? And then also with the numerology number 5 is change. So it's bringing a change to that conflict within yourself, okay? And judging things and seeing them for what they are, okay? It's important that we whenever we're making a judgment of anybody or anything, it should be of what they're showing us and what we're seeing there at the moment, what is really there, not what we see ourselves in that person or in that situation, or what we would like it to be, okay? It's important. Here we have the star, and you see that the star is radiating there, and it's eluding this light, okay? And that's right here on her forehead, and it's like, like her third eye area is just illuminating. So the star is also indicative of healing abilities, healing power, and it's like there's a nice strong healing happening to your mental space, okay? So we could come about that change. Okay, we have here the devil, and in this deck, the devil is basically yourself, the devil in you, okay? And the devil, I don't mean like the devil, like the nasty, ugly devil, like that, is portrayed in the movies and the horror films. No, the devil is like basically, like in a way, it's kind of like our shadow aspect. It's the judging ourselves harshly. It's us falling into distractions, falling into all the opposite of what that is going to make us grow and build. And I'm lying, that's not true, because actually the devil does help you grow and build, because sometimes you have to go through some dark times to be able to understand and appreciate the light times. And those sometimes are necessary also to help and expand ourselves and our evolution in a spiritual way, not only spiritually, but just in every other aspect, as far as mental space and mental strength, okay, and emotional strength, and just emotional intelligence, and knowing yourself and knowing what you're going through and how to get out of it. And sometimes you have to go through those situations so that you can discover other parts of yourself, okay? So I think it's actually very beautiful. But this, to me, is like you're looking in the mirror, and you're seeing yourself, maybe seeing yourself now for the first time, like in real, really, like you looking at you, but looking at you, like all of you in your entirety, not just what you want to see, but in every way possible, and acknowledging the things that you might find are your devil energy, and appreciating it, and not so much. We don't want to exclude our devil energy. We actually want to know it, get to know it, feel comfortable with it, and add it in and incorporate it into ourselves, because it is a part of ourselves, and we all have to have that yin and yang, that balance. Okay, you cannot have that balance if you're not acknowledging your devil energy and incorporating it into your everyday self. You need that, because that's going to help. That always comes in handy. Like if you're needing to, to let's say protect yourself or stand up for yourself. Sometimes those could be characteristics that people find abrasive, right? So therefore it's devil energy, like, oh no, that's not, politically correct, or that's not accepted by society. Well, guess what? Neither is a lot of other crap, right? So it's like we are who we are, and we have to accept ourselves for who we are. And everything that says that is everything that's unacceptable is to society is something that some people decided was unacceptable. Who are they to tell us what's unacceptable? And most likely the people that are saying that are the ones that are the most unacceptable. So don't be hard on yourself, and just appreciate who you are and every aspect of yourself, even the parts that you don't like, even the parts that you think are unacceptable. Accept them. And in you accepting yourself and accepting yourself in your entirety, others will accept you also. Because if you're not accepting yourself, then you're going to find that mirrored through people. But even at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. As long as you accept yourself and love yourself, you'll teach other people to do the same if they want to be in your energy. If not, they could go, kick rocks. And the Ace of Pentacles, this is a new seed that's being given to you. For thank you for, overcoming all of this stuff that we're throwing at you and all these lessons and all these tests and all this crap. Here's an Ace of Pentacles. This is a seed for you, so you could plant and grow it into prosperity, into whatever is a new way of living, a new opportunity for you, for something new, to kind of change things up and start growing in that manner. So this is very beautiful. I think that reading was beautiful, very, very, very nice. And I hope that this resonated with you, and I hope that I wasn't too harsh, because I could get a little into it. But again, like I said, I was talking to you and I was talking to me, okay? Talking to all of us, because if we can't just sit here and speak cotton candy and marshmallows. Sometimes we have to speak some Snickers, and some, Hershey chocolate, with some substance and some peanuts, okay? Anyways, well, I hope you have a great remainder of your day, and I also am glad and thank you so much for allowing me to come in and to step into your energy to give you this reading. I also want to thank your higher selves and your spiritual guides for also contributing and bringing you here to hear the message that was meant for you to hear. I hope that you're able to take this information and use it to your highest good, as well as I hope to see you again soon. I will be posting another collective reading that will be for also everybody, collective, it won't be for a sign. I do also advise that you check out other readings to just get a bigger, more whole picture of yourself, of other things that may also resonate with you in this moment. And go ahead and take on this new Capricorn full moon energy head on, and remember that you got this. You were made with everything that you have for a reason, because it's not like those Swedish, assembling furniture that come with all kinds of crap, and you're like, oh, I don't need this and I don't need that. Nope, these are spare. No, nothing's spare me, huh? You need it. Everything that you came with is beautiful, and it's made for you especially, and it's an intricate and very important part of you. So let's not disregard any of that. We don't want to fall apart in the middle of, somebody sitting on the chair. If we're making a chair, we don't want it to fall apart. So we don't want to fall apart either. Like, in the middle of our life, not having it wasn't necessary to do so. Okay, but sometimes it's necessary when we are stubborn and we're not listening, right? So everything happens for a reason. So let's just take everything with a grain of salt, and take everything as everything's happening for us to teach us something. Not it's happening to us. It's happening for us to make us better, and to grow and to expand, and it gives us a chance to upgrade ourselves and really, really get to know ourselves better. So have a great remainder of your day, and remember that this is the channel where we grow, where we are very, very to the point, very honest, and we dive deep and we do it together. So I hope I see you again.